Hello, good morning, and welcome to this morning's morning vibe. If you're new here, thanks for coming. Make sure before you leave that you hit the subscribe button. I want to be more intentional about saying hit the subscribe button and make sure that you also like this video. It helps other people to see this video who are interested in similar topics. Okay, so even if I start reading the cards and you start feeling like fuck this bitch, she's attacking me, make sure that you like it or dislike it even before you leave. Okay, because we want to get some activity. All right, so if you are returning, hello, good morning, and welcome to this morning's morning vibe. Let's get into these cards. First, I have a lot of shit on my desk today, and I'm going to explain why I have this stuff, and then I'm going to move it. Okay, so I'm going to do a forgiveness ritual. So when I do my forgiveness ritual, if you are part of the Cosmic Beach or you were even in the private group before, then you were part of some of those rituals and you saw me do it. So what I do is I carve the names of the people that I need to forgive or create space for love for on the candle. I might put some oil on there. Might put a little bit of drop of some herbs or something. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But I'm definitely going to also write down on these inside, they're like record inserts. It's what hold the records of my dad's, so it helps me connect to my ancestors. And then I burn it, and then I don't care no more. Okay, because what I noticed is that, like, there are some people who did some things and hurt me in the last year or so, and I'm just holding too much for that. Like, I always look at myself like a container, and I'm just holding too much for that, and it's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. Like, I could be using that energy to manifest for myself versus talking about, well, if this person would have did this, then maybe I would. No. I forgive. I don't forget. And I still love you on an energetic level, but also fuck from around me. Okay. So that's what this is about. We will be talking about the Queen of Swords in reverse, and we're going to get into it. So I'm going to move this stuff and I'm going to be right back. Can't go for that, yeah. Yes. All right. So pre-cards were the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Star, Seven of Swords, and the Two of Cups. Queen of Swords in reverse. These cards are definitely giving me, I feel like I can't because, like I was saying, or about my forgiveness ritual, holding too much space, blaming people for shit that they did. Okay, big deal, whatever. But it's giving me, I don't know how to set boundaries, and I'm blaming other people for the things that are happening in my life. No, you can figure out how to set boundaries. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about being able to set boundaries and being able to express and communicate what it is that you desire to communicate or achieve, with confidence, because Queen of Swords is about her business. I remember it was so funny to me, this girl I know, she also is an oracle reader, but she told me that the card that kept coming up for me was the Queen of Swords, and at that time I was like, what you mean? But yes, because when I'm in my flow, I don't take no shit, and I know how to say no. And I think there are people who in my life really prefer me as, scared to stand up, afraid to express myself and be strong. I'm sorry. No more. Okay. All right. So let me tell you, this is what I wrote. Oh, today is major. I'm going to tell you why today is major. Today we have Mars, the planet of action, in a conjunction with Chiron, the asteroid natal point in our chart that indicates our greatest wound, and the thing that if we are able to heal and overcome, we can teach other people how to overcome it too. So I'll tell you mine. My Chiron is in the sign of Gemini, which a lot of people who are born around the same time as me, their Chiron also is in Gemini. But the difference in the way this behaves in your life is dependent upon the chart placement. My Chiron is And this is if you read it in whole signs, which I prefer because it's so much easier to just be like, okay, this house is about this, this house is about this planet, this sign is in this house. That means boom, boom, boom. When you read it without the whole signs, it's kind of like a lot. It's a lot more in depth, of course. It's a lot more in depth and a lot more intricate. And when it comes to workshops and stuff like that, and even just reading charts for people, no shade and no offense, but I'm lazy. Okay. All right. So my Chiron is in my first house, which is the house of self in the sign of Gemini. What do? I am on YouTube communicating, right? That is my gift. That is part of my job. A wound for me is in not being able to see myself as I really am, not being able to show up and execute because I'm afraid of how people will view me and see me. I've been telling y'all this and I've been talking to y'all about this for days now. So with Chiron in conjunction with Mars, that always makes me feel like people are going to be taking their action from their wound space. So that means for you, duck, baby. Duck, baby. Because people are going to be slinging shit. And it's not because you're a bad person or you deserve it. It's because they're wounded. Okay. So also watch your own triggers today and make sure that when you're doing something, you're not doing it because somebody triggered you. Because if you're doing it from that space, you're going to get to swing back on that. So just watch yourself. Okay. What else do we have? Okay. We had the group Venus, Uranus, node, trine the moon. I wrote love, awakening, destiny, plus emotion. I do astrology like math. Mercury, trine, Pluto, communication, plus transformation. Venus and them, trine Pluto. So love, awakening, destiny, plus transformation. So like the thing is that like, while what happens today, what your triggers might incite or make you do could be detrimental to another party, it's going to transform you. And it's going to happen through communication and it's going to happen emotionally. Okay. But this is good. So I don't know how I got here, but this is what I wrote. Everything is distorted, I guess, because the Queen of Swords has clear communication with the divine, her higher self. Everything is distorted and you can't figure out why you feel so overwhelmed. You're thinking too much and it's getting to you in your heart space. Stop trying to control everything and allow the divine to transform you. Man, come on. Stop trying to remain the same. Like Otis Redding. Stop trying to hold on and control and okay, this piece goes here and this piece goes here and this is here and this part. Like that might not be how it's supposed to be. Like you could really be a much stronger individual than you're allowing yourself to be if you just let the divine transform you into who you're supposed to be. These fingernails are not giving, but it's okay. I'm going to take care of it. Once again, there's my wound going. Like, and I'll tell you, I came on here today, but in the past, I would have been like, I can't go on there with my fingernails like that. You know what? This is what I look like. So I just had a conversation at the gas station with this lady, and she was like, this is a great driver's license picture. I do not like that picture, me personally, but whatever. And she was like, I always hate photographs of myself, but it's because I know I don't look like myself because I'm older now. And it made me think about when I was just explaining to y'all about this baby and how I was like, well, I don't look like the baby no more. I told her, I said, you got to use what you got. She has really long, pretty hair. I said, you need to turn that hair to the side, put some earrings on, and smile. Like, what the fuck? Like, you couldn't be miserable because you don't look like you used to look when you were 25? Bitch, you're 60. Use that wisdom. Tell these girls about themselves. Like, tell these girls what it is. Help somebody. Whatever your wound is supposed to be the thing that you also bring out here and share with the rest of us and help somebody move through whatever is plaguing them. Come on, man. Do your work. All right, so let me get a candle for... Oh, I have one. I don't have a lighter. Oh, my love. Fuck. I really want to light that. Who is calling me? I know I don't want shit. Okay, let me go get a lighter. I'll be right back again. Amen. All right. So yes, so let's talk about this Queen of Swords energy. It's so demanding. I am so happy and so proud of, God dang, of my girls, man. Like when I think about how far each of them has come on their journey, I'm just so glad that everybody is winning. Like, not even gonna lie about it. This is only the beginning. I'm just so proud of y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm proud of y'all. Somebody sent me a review yesterday that made me cry. But it showed me that, like, I really did help her. And I had, like, imposter syndrome, of course, like y'all know. I am calling in the support of my angels, ancestors, guides, and masters, my heavenly Father, my creator, who lives in me. Hallelujah. I'm at peace, I'm at ease, I honor and see myself. I need to find the path, stay the course, trust the process, and enjoy the journey. Amen. But yeah, I mean, I've had imposter syndrome about pretty much everything that I've done, but like, I be achieving. I really do. And I have to allow myself to be in a space of achievement. So I feel like that's what we're really talking about is like, how do you get to the point where you see yourself effectively, correctly, and you're able to stand up for yourself, set better boundaries, and know what it is that you want and go for it without hemming and hawing back and forth about, oh, well, what are people going to say if I do it? What are people going to say if I do it? It don't matter what the fuck they're going to say. They have shit they need to work on. Like every single body, every person here on earth has things that they need to be working on. So like when we let and allow people who also need to heal themselves and work on things keep us from moving forward, it's because we want to stay small with them. Because we recognize on some level that they're not growing, you know? And we are really attached to them. We're getting back into that codependency. But we're really attached to them. And, you know, our lives are somewhat defined by the relationship. And so we're like, well, if I level up and I leave this person, what's going to happen? And, you know, yesterday I had written on Facebook too that like some people will want you to stay small with them because they don't know who they're going to be if you level up. If you change, if you grow into the person that you're supposed to be, they will be unstable. That's not your problem. Let them motherfuckers fall over. We got the 5 of hearts. Sarah, smile, baby. If you feel like leaving, you know you can go. 3 of spades. Until tomorrow. The 3 of clubs. Okay. Here's what it takes. Let's get started. Okay. So in order for this to turn over, so every time I look at a card in reverse, I think about, well, what does it take to get it to be upright in the positive, you know? So we're looking at you as an individual who is very talented, gifted, full of wisdom, and has ability and skills to do great things, but isn't because they don't see themselves correctly. I'm not crazy, I'm psychic. But also does not know how to set boundaries with yourself or others. So that means that when you have something that you need to do or you have a goal that you need to achieve for yourself, you don't do what you need to do to make sure that it happens for you. So like, I'll give you an example. I, for a long time, wasn't working with the to-do list, but like, I know how important the to-do list is for me because it helps me stay organized. It helps me to get things done. If I make the to-do list, if I write it out in the morning, by the end of the day, or even by the end of that week, everything on the list I've crossed off. That's if I'm continuing to be intentional and I'm working efficiently without distractions or without stopping to be lazy and say, oh, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing this. So there's a book called Eat That Frog, and everyone should read it or listen to it because it talks about how to set goals and achieve them in a way that isn't overwhelming. Because sometimes, just like I said in the note, you can feel overwhelmed by what you have and what you have been given to accomplish. So how do you eat an elephant? in small doses, in small bites, so break it up or eat the frog, whatever, break it up. But a lot of people don't want to actually get to the next level or achieve because it hurts to be thinking about, oh my God, I'm the reason why I haven't been doing shit. That acknowledgement can be triggering because it's like, damn, all this time I've been thinking it was because, my mom didn't want me to. And I guess this is a personal thing too, because it's like, even when I started doing this, when I started reading these cards, my mom was like, well, make sure you giving the glory to God because, and I was like, as opposed to what? As opposed to whom? Like, what you talking about? But I let that one conversation stop me from reading cards for like probably 6 months. 6 months I felt guilty for reading cards. 6 months I felt bad for reading cards. I'm supposed to be reading cards. So I allowed that conversation I had with my mom to stop me from fulfilling my destiny. And that's what happens. So we have to get to the point where we're like, okay, it is me. It is me. And feel all those emotions so that you can move across them. And sometimes the reason why we're hiding and not doing what we're supposed to do is because we remember a time in which somebody showed up and was like, stop doing that. Or they shamed you or they made you feel bad about it. So you don't want to relive that experience. No, I'm going to stay hidden because if I don't, it's going to hurt. Like I can remember when I would tell people things or I would give them information and just like read them when I was a kid. Nobody liked that shit. And I see that happen to my daughter all the time, especially with me. I'll be like, get out of my business. But I don't want to deter her from doing what she's naturally good at. I don't want to stop her from doing what she's naturally good at, And so I have to check myself and be like, you have to be okay with her doing this. And that part of her was irritating the shit out of me. Because why? Because I was struggling to accept it in myself. So that's another thing. Sometimes when people are, and I'm just going off, but sometimes when people are triggering you, it's because it's a mirror. It's a mirror. You're supposed to be like, oh, that's me too. So like you can even use like being jealous of somebody or hating on somebody as a mirror too. I am talking shit about this person or I am hating on this person because I too am like that and I have not yet accepted that part of myself. Or I think I'm better than this person because of my belief system around this thing that's taking place, But like, what does that do for you? And how far does that get you? Not. Okay. So then we've got the 3 of clubs right here lining up with the 3 of wands, which is about going. It's about making a decision to move forward, to move forward in wisdom, which is what we're talking about. So yes, let's get some more cards. Moving forward in wisdom, standing up for yourself, setting better boundaries, and getting the things that you want out of life. Ultimately, the Queen of Swords wants for nothing. The Queen of Swords wants for nothing, and you should not either. And here's how you remember that. You really can have everything that you want. My source is my supply. It is your divine right. It is your divine right. You have a body, which means you are connected to the Most High. And your dreams and desires are also connected to the Most High. And if you ask, you will receive. Okay? But you got to be able to ask. There are so many people who feel like they don't deserve, so they don't make the ask. Or you, like we've talked about a multitude of times, like you'll probably notice that the topics on this channel do not change that much, but that's because there's a specific audience that I'm speaking to, somebody like myself. Okay? So it's like when you get into that position of needing to be able to ask and receive, there's a lack of worthiness or a desire to remain in the small position, in the victimized position that does not receive anything, that does not live an abundant life, that does not know how to manage that abundance, has never experienced it, so doesn't really know how to process it and works to circumvent it because we're scared of new. Okay. Woo! All the words just away. Always a chance. Tiny spark will remain. Sparks turn into flames. I got a meeting at 11, so I gotta watch my time. Yeah, we're talking about growing a brand. I'm excited to be sure. I'll be there. I'll be around. All right, so how do we get into the Queen of Swords upright in energy? I was gonna say industry. Setting better boundaries, knowing what we want, not hesitating on communication, saying exactly what we said with confidence, not holding back because I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, or I don't know how this is going to, play out, blah, 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 whatever it is. Whatever it is. She knows what she wants. She's about her business. She don't play no games. 6 of Wands in reverse. Yes, okay. Instantly. You can't be afraid to be seen. You can't be afraid to be seen. Oh, you can't be afraid to come in from the cold. And you got to learn how to make them choices. You got to learn how to make them strong choices. And stand firm in it. Because even if it ends up being some bullshit or it ends up being fucked up, okay, there's a lesson in it. Just like I said yesterday, if you fall on your face, you will get up. Or maybe that was the day before yesterday. But if you fall on your face, you're going to get up. Ultimately. Like, you're not going to stay on the ground unless you choose to stay there. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. I remember this song was a jam when I was a little girl. Black Velvet. I don't know why I'm holding my mouth like this. Oh, there's a 7 of Cups in reverse again. Black Velvet. So the Empress. All right. So you can't be afraid to be seen. You got to be able to make investment. And I have a clip that I'm going to post today. But you got to be able to make some kind of investment, whether or not that is like physical money or energy of your own. You got to be able to make some kind of investment. And sometimes that means that you have to be able to give up something. Here, I'm going to give this up in order to gain. Sometimes that is the investment, because like that's not different than spending money. You know what? I'm willing to let this go in order to gain this. So if I'm trying to buy this coffee mug, then I have to spend whatever it costs for the mug to come to me, right? So you got to be able to make the investment. You can't be afraid to spend whatever it is that you have. Black velvet, if you please. And you have to get into the space where you're able to make decisions. Like 7 of Cups sometime, and it actually does associate itself with the Pisces deacon, first deacon. It reminds me of Piscean energy. Those people are terrible at making decisions. And it's because they just don't have like Pisces don't have a container. So it's just like, it's just kind of there, it's floating around. But like, you cannot be like that. You have got to be firm and solid. And you have to be able to say, okay, I like this. No, no, no. It's almost like, imagine going to plan a wedding. Like when a bride goes in to plan her wedding, she is able to say, yes, no, I don't like this. This is what I want. This is how I want it. You've got to be able to make those kinds of decisions. You've got to be able to make those kind of decisions and recognize that that is how you become the empress. Look at her. She don't, she ain't tripping at all. She's like, no, I don't like what you're bringing to me. And I don't have to accept it. Those look like crumbs. That looks like crumbs. The Queen of Swords, in her highest vibration, does not accept crumbs. She does not eat crumbs. So when somebody's bringing her crumbs, she's like, no thanks. We eat full meals over here. And let me tell you how you learn how to eat a full meal and to stop accepting crumbs. You feed yourself, just like we talked about yesterday. Filling yourself. Feed yourself. If you start to know what it's like to feel love or to be treated with respect, when somebody's trying to do the opposite, you'll know. And you'll be able to say no. Yeah. And you'll be able to leave situations that don't serve you. You think the Queen of Swords is sitting in some bullshit that doesn't feel good? You think she's sitting up in some bullshit that don't feel good? Three of Wands, ready to go. You think she's sitting in some shit that don't feel good? No. Trying to force somebody to respect her? Absolutely not. She don't get down like that. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. You deserve. You deserve. And it's all right for you to say that. You know, we have a tendency in this society to be like, nobody deserves anything other than what people give them. That's some bullshit, and that's not true. That's not true. You do deserve. You deserve to be happy and to feel good. And if that means cutting yourself off from energy that doesn't feel that or doesn't provide that to you, then by all means, absolutely do it. There's a problem people have with serving themselves. They're like, that's selfish. That's not holy. That's not this and that. I'm trying to figure out when God said that everybody should lay down and die for everybody else. I'm trying to figure out when God really said, you should never love yourself at the same time as loving other people. You should only love others. That is not what was said. So why y'all doing it? I mean, I know why, but stop. You tried everything. Eight of Swords. It's giving fear. Only you. Gotta let go of the fear of being seen, of being known. You know, how you gonna be famous if people don't know you? How you gonna be successful? How you gonna reach millions if people don't know you? Like, not you trying to change the world and help people, but also wanting to hide in your house. How is that gonna work? No. No, not you wanting to be a well-known anything, but also never putting out anything for people to start to know you. Okay. Like, the Queen of Swords is not afraid of anything. She's definitely not afraid of herself. And a lot of y'all still are. A lot of people are afraid of their own power and what they came here to do. And here's one thing that we need to also remember. Even as healers or spiritual teachers, everybody has a different lane. So there's no need for you to be worried about whether or not you can get into your niche. You create your own niche. Or even if you join one that has already been created, you're still different. So you don't have to be jealous of another person who's already doing their work. You don't have to be trying to sabotage those people. That's not going to get you very far. Collaboration is what helps you become the star. Connecting. Giving honor to those who have more wisdom than you in the area in which you are trying to grow. Asking for help. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be seen as not an expert on everything. Oh my God, you're not an expert on everything? No fucking shit. Who is? We do not all have the same gifts. We do not all have the same abilities. Like if somebody came to me asking me about crystals and herbs, I would be like, let me send you over here to this other girl. I'm the moon. I'm the moon lady. Okay. I was gonna say witch, but whatever. I'm about the moon. If you want to talk about the moon, we can talk about that. You want to talk about candle magic? We can talk about that. But don't ask me a bunch of questions about crystals. Don't ask me a bunch of questions about herbs. Because that's not my stilo. And it don't have to be. But there's somebody out there who does that, who is an expert at that. And if I know her, I'm gonna send you over there to talk to her. Because I know I'm not the expert at everything. So like there's no reason for me to be like, oh well, let me try to keep this person for myself, because you're gonna fuck them up because you don't know. I guess that just needs to come out. I guess that just needs to come out. The King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta stop hoarding and withholding and trying to be Billy motherfucking badass. Because it's really messing you up. That's not Queen of Swords energy. Queen of Swords understands her gifts and her abilities. She knows where her power is and when to use it. And she knows that she is not good by herself. It is about teamwork and collaboration. And remember, we talked about the King and the Queen of Pentacles only working if they work together. So being in King of Pentacles energy by yourself leaves you at an imbalance. I'm on top of the world. Oh, for real? How are you sleeping at night? Oh, not the Knight of Swords when I said that. And are you living your best life? Come on, Ten of Cups. I'd rather be on. Yeah. Love it. I love it. I'm a person. Somebody would choose me. Like, I saw that card whenever I was shuffling, but I didn't think that I had it in my hand, but I definitely did. But that's what I thought about. You know, you probably being plagued by lots. Ooh, the Lovers is in reverse. Yeah. You keep yourself, there goes the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. You keeping yourself closed off from the divine love. And you're not paying attention to what the divine is saying to you because you're not connected. You're not in your higher self. You're struggling because you're really almost too focused on the material. This King of Pentacles in reverse. You're too focused on how people see you. Worrying about people seeing you in a way that's not perfect. Social media approved. Oh yes, this person is really doing it. They are really living. Yes, on the surface and in public, but that internal struggle is so great. Like, I would rather my shit be falling apart in the physical, not even gonna lie, and have my inner self be at peace. But here's the thing. Once your inner self is at peace and your inner life begins to really be at the balance, everything else also too begins to balance. So like I said to y'all, this is my foundation. Like, you're going to watch my life change and grow if you continue to watch this channel, because that is what has happened over the last 2 years when I've been doing this. Like, I have so many videos because I used to do this in private because I didn't want y'all to see me. I used to do this in private, and then there was a time that I did it in public, but I didn't do it fully, and I wasn't doing it like I always do it. But like, I don't care no more. You know, this is what I do. I get on the fucking camera, I talk to myself, and I pull cards, and then I share it with others, and it helps them. You know, and my life changes, and people hear me talk about it and document it, and it's beautiful. And If they decide they want to change their life, then they ask me for help, and then I help them, and then they continue to share with me the documentation of the changes that are being made in their life. And here's the thing about it. It's not, oh, a leprechaun showed up and brought me a bucket of coins. Sheba, life is amazing. No, it's, girl, guess what I did? I set a fucking boundary that allowed me to go get $10,000. Or I set a boundary that allowed me to go get $50,000. I set a boundary that allowed me to stand up for myself in a way that I wasn't before I met you. Thank you. And do you know why they do it? Because they're watching me do it. I'm actively participating in what the fuck I say. I'm actually also doing. So if you want people to start to see you as a leader, a teacher, or whatever, do it. Get on there and show them. Get up here and show them. That's all you got to do. But guess what? You still fucking worried about how people gonna see you. You still trying to keep up appearances and keep up with the fucking Joneses instead of doing your damn work. 10 of Pentacles. So that you can have everything the fuck that you want. Letting go of how you're seen in the physical and becoming the type of person who can stand up for themselves and what they believe in is how you get to the 10 of Pentacles. Okay? So becoming the Queen of Swords, who knows what she wants, knows how to communicate, doesn't take no for an answer, sets really excellent boundaries, and is not vicious about it. That's the thing. Just like I was talking about yesterday. When you set a boundary, you don't have to be ugly about it. You can really just be like, that doesn't work for me. No, I don't agree with that. I appreciate that, but that doesn't work for me. That's the energy that you want to be in, because let me tell you something. The key to manifestation, the key to drawing in what it is that you desire, is for you to be able to keep yourself walking on the high wire. Okay? So that means that you're at the balance. You don't tip and fall. You don't dive off of it. You're not always up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, the goal is really to be unfuckwittable. So, like, that's the point of trigger tracking. That's the point of checking your triggers, because it helps you to keep yourself more on the level. And that's not to say that you avoid what it is that comes in. It helps you to see it differently. So once you felt it, you don't explode from it. You don't keep holding on to it. You're able to do a forgiveness ritual and say, okay, these are the areas in which I need to create space, because this is taking up too much fucking space in my experience. Y'all know I have OCD. This is taking up too much space in my experience. So I got to get rid of it. Okay, I have a few minutes. Even when you talk, it takes over me. That's so damn bad. Because I don't want to be trying to talk to him and edit or anything at the same time. I want to be able to talk to him. But, I mean, if the video is late, the video is late, whatever. I'll be working. And people are like, we didn't see you. Where were you? Working. Talking to people. I feel like my nose, I'm getting gray nose hairs too, by the way. So every time I see my nose has a little something, I'm like, is that a gray nose hair? I had to pluck a couple of them out. My mom's like, are you serious? It seems like y'all are getting gray hair a lot earlier than me. We had kids way earlier than her too. Like, I was 20 years old when I had my first child. My sister was 15. Her hair been gray. Her hair has been gray. Ah, Boohoo. Transform the way you see. They got a lot going on with this. The lady's wearing a mask that looks like a frog. Remember we talked about the frog too. Real shine for you. If you want to transform the world, start by transforming the way you see it. Pay attention to positive and pleasing things. Do not be distracted by anything that makes you feel sad or hopeless. You observe with your heart and your eyes. Grow in wisdom as you witness the world shaping itself according to the way you see it. Know that wisdom evolves and is not static or fixed. It is time to not only look outside of the world, but also into yourself and comprehend the role you play in the events taking shape around you. Let what you observe transform you. Be uplifted by what you now know about even challenging facts and difficult truths. They are further opportunities for growth and transformation. The girl of Boohoo holds the owl, wisdom, and the butterfly, transformation, on her index fingers. Power. as she gazes on her world curiously and confidently. Buho also means people are watching you and noticing your courage, good needs, and your personal transformation, and that these qualities will be rewarded. Buho appears when a reward, bonus, or notification of approval is about to be received. Okay. So yeah, I mean, while you're afraid for people to see you, people need to see you. People need to see you. Like, you have a gift that needs to be shared with the world. And unfortunately, like, you don't have to clear out some of that toxic energy that keeps you from being in your power. You know, you can think you're in your power all day long, but as long as things that you have asked for or you have desired to do have not been completed because of you, you still have work to do. And that's okay. Like, I still have things I'm working on too. I still have things I'm working on too. Like, I'm supposed to be doing a little YouTube show with my kids. Like, I'll get there. I'll get there. But like, I'm not holding myself to a position of, oh, I'm not good because I haven't done it. I mean, I'm taking off other goals. I set a lot of goals for myself. A lot. And so it takes time to achieve all that. Like, eat that frog in small bites. Uh-oh. Time out. Let's see what they're saying. This card indicates a need to take a time out from your busy schedule and the hustle and bustle of life. Perhaps you've been working too hard or have a lot going on. Maybe you've been tired, irritable, and anxious, or just generally feeling unwell. If you've been under stress of any kind or have been spending time in a negative or toxic environment. And sometimes it's just with yourself and the shit that you've been saying, and you need to do a forgiveness ritual. You must remove yourself from the situation to heal and recharge. This is the perfect time to take a vacation. Even a day or two away will revitalize and recharge your soul. You don't necessarily need to leave your home. You can laze around the house and unplug your computer and phone. Having an energy healing massage or facial, soaking in a hot bath, taking a walk in nature, watching a movie, and reading a good book are perfect ways to unwind. Center yourself and feel a sense of renewal. If you're feeling overwhelmed, uncertain, or confused, the answers will present themselves during your quiet time. Clarity comes from silence and order follows peace. So step away from the stress and find your inner sanctuary. I mean, it's going to take that because you already don't see yourself as you are, but also that's not just that you're not seeing your positive attributes. You're not seeing the negative ones. You're not noting and recognizing that you are sometimes sour. And some of the things that have happened in your life or painful are because of you. Some of it is because of you. So like, if you want to be in the Queen of Swords energy, set better boundaries and stand up for yourself. That means that you also have to be honest with yourself, because she's honest always. She doesn't ever lie. So that begins with being honest with you. Like, I have to take a really hard look at myself and be honest with myself all the time. All the time, you know? And that's the only way that I end up doing new things, is because I'm like, okay, it's time to have a conversation with me. Girl, what the fuck is going on? And then I do my shadow work that's associated with whatever it is that I'm using to block myself, because you're using whatever it is to block yourself. You don't have to be like you've always been. You can be different, and you won't be the Queen of Swords until you change. Okay. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands. And I like this song. Look so divine. Okay. A woman sneaks out into the forest at dawn. She holds her face in her hands. She holds a face in her hands. Why is she holding her head? But anyway, she looks over her shoulder from where she came from. The first rays of the sun illuminate her way. The woman in the card walks with only a few possessions. The face in her arms suggests she is carrying a relationship with her. She also holds a short stick, perhaps an item to protect herself with. She looks over her shoulders as if she is worried that someone is following her. She wears no shoes, so she must take care in where she steps. This card's message is you must boldly walk away from situations you no longer need into a better future. Taking action, beginning a new journey, and leaving something behind. It's time, y'all. Go ahead. take this moment to do this introspection. Find out why you're hiding, why you're shrinking and holding yourself hostage, keeping yourself small, not sitting on your throne as the Queen of Swords, who knows what she wants, goes out and gets it, and uses her authority, but also respects the people around her and what they're going through, recognizes other people's humanity, sends them love, doesn't hold them to unrealistic standards. People are humans. They're going to hume. Okay? All right, so if you need anything, all the links are below. I will see you later. Don't be a self-hater. Come and get your love. And if you need something, then come and get your love. All right? Bye-bye.